here. Listen, I know that so many people are having to work from home right now. I've gotten so many messages from so many people who are like, how do you do this? This is like driving me crazy. I can't seem to be productive. I'm procrastinating. So here are just a few of my favorite tips, things that have absolutely worked for me. I've worked from home, so I feel like I can say that I am a professional stay-at-home worker. And this is like right up my alley. And I also right up my alley is time management, right? Like I love talking about blocking out time and being consistent and all those good things. And I think that now is just a perfect time for people to really start implementing things, especially if you are somebody who now is thrown into this world of working from home. I also get so many times, you're so lucky that you get to work from home. Well, let me tell you, it is not easy. And I think a lot of you guys are actually seeing that now and you're feeling that vibe, right? Because it takes a lot more self-control and self-discipline to be productive while working from home, because there are so many distractions out there. You got laundry, you have your television set, you have all the things that on a regular day can distract you, and now you kind of aren't really held accountable to anybody because you can do whatever you want in your house, right? So I've worked from home for about 16, 17 years. And it all started when my son, I've had office jobs before. I was an executive assistant. I had the office job where you go in Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You know where you're going to be at that time. You know what you're going to do. You know when your lunch break is going to happen. You know where your kids are going to be. All of those things, right? Well, my son kept biting people. He kept biting people at daycare. We went through like 3 daycares in 2 weeks. And it was a time when Rob and I were like, okay, can't do this anymore. It was one of the most stressful things when you don't have daycare for your child, because we were like on that blacklist of this kid bites and nobody wanted to watch him. So I decided that I needed to stay at home because I wanted to take care of my kids. Rob had a pretty good job at this point, but we knew that we were going to have to really buckle down. And I like shopping. I like being able to go to Target and buying whatever I want. If I want to buy a new shirt, I want to buy a new shirt. If I want to buy shoes, I want to buy shoes. If I wanted to buy the kids something, then I wanted to be able to do that. And if I was going to stay at home, I knew that if I wanted that kind of a lifestyle that I was used to, having a double income, that I was going to have to bring some income in. Also, when I started staying at home, I realized that I didn't like not working. I didn't like not bringing in an income. And I know that rubs some people because they're like, I would do anything to stay at home with my kids. You are so lucky. And I get that. But I also, for myself, I come from a line and a family of very hard workers. I saw my mom push through and work really, really hard all her life. So I have that hard worker mentality in me. And what I also didn't have was the structure. When I was at home with the kids, it was like you're just home with the kids, right? And you're just doing things for them. So when I decided that I needed to work from home, I went and I did the online course. I figured my stuff out. That'll be another video about medical billing and whatnot. That'll be something else because I want to keep this to be just some tips for you. But I want you to understand that I get it. I have absolutely been where so many people are right now, and they're like, I just can't get my ish together right now. I am all over the place, and I feel like at the end of the day, I haven't gotten everything done that I need to get done. Totally understand that. So the first thing, so we're going to talk about setting boundaries. We're going to talk about setting business hours. We're going to talk about creating a workspace. I'm going to talk about just kind of some personal things that I do that really keep my mindset in a professional space when you're kind of at home and you really can do just about anything you want, right? So the first thing is you have to set boundaries. And what I mean by that, just so you know, I have a list of things that I'm just going to kind of go down because I didn't want to forget things. But staying sane in this whole process as you're trying to acclimate to doing things where you have less interruptions, because usually when you're in your workspace, you might have interruptions, but they're different. And if you have kids at home, then your whole work vision has completely been turned upside down. So you have to set those boundaries and find the balance between your family life and business hour time or business minutes time, because sometimes you can't do a whole hour dedicated to work, especially if you've got the little ones at home. So the distractions, as you minimize the distractions, it's going to limit the amount of procrastination you're going to do. And it really is about focus and self-discipline and really figuring out what it is that's going to work for you. And finding that is going to take time. It takes time to really establish a routine that you know is probably not going to last that long, because so many of us are going to go back to work at some point, right? This is our new normal temporarily. Most of you are going to go back into an office space, but for now, you got to dial it in. You got to figure it out so that you can be productive while you're staying at home. So set boundaries, set a place where this is my workspace. Right now, I am in my office. When I do my medical billing, this is where I sit. This is when I am in here and my door is closed, that is a no access sign to my family that I need no interruptions. I'm doing whatever I'm doing for my data entry, or I'm balancing out reports or whatever it is. You don't want those interruptions. So closing the door and me being in my space tells my family I am absolutely working. The other thing is, depending on what I'm doing, I personally kind of like to move around. I like my environment to change a little bit. So when I start doing my coaching work, that's a little bit different because it's more social for me. And I love going into my bedroom. I actually have like a laptop holder thingy where I stick my laptop on it. I have a pillow that props me up, and I love doing my coach work there, just sitting in my bed and typing away and connecting with people. Like, that is my jam. I don't really like sitting in this office to do my coach work. So if you're doing multiple things, then go to the place where you feel most creative, where it feels like it makes sense. My coaching business is very much a personal thing, whereas my business, my medical billing business, is more acclimated to an office type of an area. So that's why I have very significant places where that is how I determine where I'm going to be and what I'm going to do. It also helps to create a sign. I'll tell you a really quick story. So Rob has worked for corporate America. He worked for corporate America for, I don't know, 20 something years, right? And he traveled basically Tuesday through Thursday, sometimes Friday, every single week, just about every single week out of the year. So in a sense, I was a single mom who worked from home for those days throughout the week when he traveled. Well, a couple of years ago, he left corporate America and he now works from home. And boy, was that an adjustment. It was absolutely an adjustment because he didn't realize I hadn't set boundaries because I didn't need to, right? I'm here by myself and I can do whatever it is that I want to do and I'm good with it. We're fine. I'm getting my stuff done. But when you add somebody coming in and he would just, walk into my office, this is before I used to shut my door, and he would walk in my office and just start talking. And I'm in the middle of something, right? And you have to stop what you're doing, focus on the conversation he's trying to have with me, and then stop, rethink about what I'm doing here. It was an adjustment. It was an adjustment for him too. I'm sure he has his own stories about working at home with me. So I think I'm safe to say that we have definitely got our own routines down now. Another thing that helps, especially if you have interruptions like that, because if you've got little ones, they're not going to listen to you. You got to give me a second. Like, hold on, give me a minute. Is have a little sign. So if you have, I have like this. Oh, I totally almost fell out of my chair. If you have like a ruler, put like a piece of paper up like this, right? And have it say something like on the phone, or no interruptions, or I'll be out in 15 minutes, or whatever. So that if somebody is there, you can just kind of hold the sign up and be like, hold on a second, give me a minute. It's a helpful tool for if you've got older kids or family members who are staying with you. It's absolutely helpful for them too. So they know also when you are going to be available. A lot of what I've gotten to is I have guilt that I am not spending, that I am now at home, and I have guilt that I'm not spending all of my time with my kids. That's a boundary thing. That is the kind of thing. So I started working from home when Robbie was 2. He was a little older than 2. And so that would have made Kaylee 6. She went to school. He eventually went to preschool, but I had those interruptions all day, all the time. So if you can try to explain to at least the kids who are older that, mommy has to work from home or daddy has to work from home. Things are a little bit different right now. Or even if not, like, hopefully I would love if you want to work from home, that you figure something out that you can do and work from home at the same time. That's amazing. So if that is something that you decide that you want to do, then have that space be, if you see me sitting here, I'm working, and just make it fun for them. Make them a sign that says, hey, I need you for a second. And then tell them, okay, if you need me, show me the sign and I'll be back in 5 minutes. Just give me a few minutes and I'll come back to you. But I'm working right now. So when they see you in your workspace, they know that you are doing what it is that you need to do for your business. And then you have that time to go back and really get in there and focus your time spent with them, because that's the best. And that really, no offense, but your children don't want to be with you 24 hours a day. A few hours a day is all they need from you to give them that kind of attention where you're physically doing something with them. But the other times they can watch a movie. I don't see why that's an issue. Good Lord, I wish my kids had had an iPad or a Wii or an Xbox when I was trying to get my business started, and it would have been nice to have that distraction. So your children have things that they can be distracted from. It is your job to train them, to teach them that this is what I am doing right now. I have to finish this. You do this, and after we will do this together. So that's a helpful tip. Set your business hours. Block out time throughout your day. Coordinate that if your spouse is working at home too. I am going to be on a call tonight from this time to this time. Can you please make sure that the kids are not going to be interrupting me? This is obviously not a time that we're going to be eating dinner. So if you share your schedule with the people who are also going to be impacted by whether or not you're available, then share that schedule with them. Let your spouse or your mom or your dad or somebody know what's going on so that you can have some help during those times when you need to get things done. It's okay to ask for help. The worst thing that anybody can do is be a martyr and be like, I have to do all these different things, and you got somebody sitting on the couch all day long. Ask for help. Ask for help from your older kids with the younger kids. It's okay to do that. I know as moms, a lot of times we don't like to ask for help, right? Or even sometimes it's inconvenient to ask somebody else to be inconvenienced, but you're gonna at some point need help, and you might as well get into the habit of asking for it now. It's important. Okay, so set your business hours, set timers. Your phone has a timer on it. Use it, totally use it. I use my timer all day, every day, so that I don't go over on doing something. Listen, I am a hard worker. I like working. I love both jobs that I do. So I can sometimes get a little carried away. And if I'm really enjoying something that I'm doing, I can go over, and then I run out of time for doing things that must get done too. Side tip, do the things that must get done first. Then do the things that you enjoy or like to do. It's also something, not only are you getting the things done that need to get done, but you're also going to have something to look forward to if there's something in your job that you actually are looking forward to doing. That's a big deal too. So there's a book by Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog. Best book. I think everybody should read it because it's basically telling you, do the thing that you don't want to do, get it done, get it out of the way, and then you can move on. Okay, I want to talk about personal things. This video is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but we're just gonna share all the things. So morning me time is so important. How you start your day really does determine how you're going to live out the rest of your day. And especially if those of you are homeschooling your kids, I give you kudos. First of all, I sent my kids off to preschool. I know a lot of you guys would like to do that as well, but I also know that that is not an option for some of you right now, right? And you need patience. You absolutely need patience. So when you start your day off filling your cup, I have a couple of things. I first use the 5-minute journal. This is something that I fill out every single morning. I wrap it up at night. I love this John C. Maxwell, the Maxwell Daily Reader. This is like one of my very favorite things, and it's very special to me too because this used to be Rob's. He had it throughout his corporate career, and when he brought all of his books home, I was like, what is that? I read this every single day. It's like one quote for the day, and it's amazing. Not a quote, it's a read. It's like a 1-page read. It's awesome. So I start my day with that because when I fill my cup first, I have more patience, I feel more focused, I'm checking something off the box right away. It's how I really lay that strong foundation so that when I go through my day, I feel good. I started my day off with gratitude and positivity, and I am less resentful of the people who are barking at me or coming at me or just wanting stuff from me. When I have more to pour from, when I fill my own cup, you have more to pour from that and pour into other people. So you have more to give. The morning process and the morning routine for me has been the #1 game changer in my life, with attitude, with mindset, with positivity, with feeling good and strong and feeling productive. Because even if you just start your day off with that one thing of getting your morning process done, I mean, it opens the door for lots and lots of things. Okay. Get dressed, shower, do your hair, put your makeup on. Listen, I know that in the beginning, right, you're like, oh my gosh, I get to work in my pajamas. This is amazing. So many times, of course, I work in my workout clothes, or I work in pajamas, whatever I feel like. But if I'm starting to feel like the productivity is coming down, or I'm not very motivated, I get dressed. I get dressed every day. Do your hair, put your makeup on, because if you feel good and you're clean, you're gonna feel better about yourself, and you're going to feel just more intentional when you put yourself together. So take the time. Listen, I think a lot of people right now are comfortable in the pajama phase, right? You're sitting on the couch and you're watching Netflix and you're binge eating all the crappy food. That's going to end. At some point, you're going to be like, this feels like crap, and I don't want to do this anymore. So I need to be more productive. Where do I start? Shower. Shave all the things. Okay, so here's the other thing for us girls out there. I know this social distancing is killing our hair, our nails, our makeup. Listen, I don't want, not makeup, lashes. I don't want to minimize what's going on right now. 100%. These things are superficial, and these things that I'm about to talk about are not important. And however, sometimes I am one of these people that sometimes when you've got grays showing and you look like a plucked chicken because you have no eyelashes left, and your eyebrows are all bushwhacked, and you've got a mustache growing, these are things that can absolutely mess with your mindset. They can throw people into a depression, because when you don't feel good about yourself, eating crappy food is also going to make you feel like ish. Then do something about that. And the way to do something about that is to shower and get ready and put yourself together every single day. And when you do that, chances of you feeling like you want to sit on the couch and Netflix all day long, that part of what's going on right now is eventually going to come to a head. And when it does, and you stop, #1, feeling sorry for yourself, #2, feeling like you need to be more productive, those types of things will make you feel a lot better. So again, put yourself together. Create a routine. You have a new temporary new normal. Like, you're going to have to, if you want to be productive, if you are working from home, then you need to figure out that time where you really can dive in and be productive while working from home, because you get the perks of being able to work when you want, and being able to, eat lunch when you want, maybe even cook your own meal. Like, those are things that there are so many perks to working from home. So embrace that. Create your new schedule, create a schedule to begin with, share it with the people that you work with, and manage your time, because this is, like I said, this is temporary. All this, this social distancing, I know, is so hard, but we're going to get back to a regular, normally scheduled programming. But in the meantime, you still can be productive, and you still can feel good about yourself. And my last tip is, when you're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or Netflix trying to find a show, stay positive. Stay on the positive sites. stay on the positive profiles, and limit your time on the news, because that can spiral you really, really quickly. So I hope that these tips have helped. I totally get it is not easy to work from home. I get it. I've been there 100%. There was actually a time when I did medical billing from home for about 5 years. And my kids at that point Robbie was probably 6 or 7. I went and I got office space just for me, one space for a desk, because I needed to get out of my house. But some of you, that's not an option right now. So you got to make the best of the situation that you're in. And I absolutely have faith that you can do it. All right, we will see you guys later. I hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.